educational videos. In this video, I will be talking about failure. Now, this is something that we don't want to talk about. We don't want to touch on it. We don't want to talk about it. We don't even want to put it into our mentality because we have been conditioned to believe that failure is just the ultimate thing that we just don't want to go through. But the reality is failure should be normalized because failure is normal. Like, we're going to fail, unfortunately, but it happens and we're going to fail. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 6 stages of failure because I strongly believe that we can't go through something if we don't learn what it is or we don't know about it. And so here we go. The first stage of failure I want to talk to you about is the shock phase. So when you go through failure, right? The first thing you're going to do, you're going to be shocked. I can't believe that I failed. Like, how could I have failed? There must be a mistake. Can't happen to me. I just can't believe it. You're shocked. You're crying. You're because I've been through it. You're crying. You're like, oh my God, I failed. That's the first stage. The second stage of failure is going to be the denial phase. Like, nope, again, I can't believe it happened to me. But this time you're like, I can't believe it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to get to the bottom of this because this just can't happen to me. I'm not accepting this at all. Now we're going to talk about the third stage of failure, and that's the anger stage. Like, you're angry. You're like, no, I can't accept this. I won't accept this. You're screaming, you're yelling, you're over being sad. Now you're just pissed off because you're like, how could they do this to me? You're looking at the blame game. You're blaming this person. You're blaming that person. You're blaming everybody because you're in utter anger. You're furious. And now we're going to talk about the fourth stage of failure, which is the depression stage. Now you got over the fact that, oh my gosh, I can't believe this to me. You're angry. You're furious. You're just a complete mess. Now this stage, you're more depressed. You're like, I failed. Now I just don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to go in bed and pull the sheet over my head and just lay there for a minute or 2 or 3. That's the stage. That's the fourth stage of failure, is depression. Now we're going to talk about the fifth stage of failure, and this is the stage where you're going to accept that you failed. Like, I failed, okay? Maybe it's going to be next time. I can't do anything about it. I've already went through all the different stages. I already got angry. I already got furious. I already got depressed. I already did all that. I already got shocked over it. Now I'm just at a place where, okay, I accept that I failed. And it's a hard stage because we've all been through that stage. And the sixth and final stage of failure is, like we all know, is the stage where you learn. You get to a point where you gain insight on your failure. Now, a lot of us didn't go through this phase. A lot of us, the moment we got failure, the moment we hear the term failure, we're not trying to learn from this. But this is the mature phase. This is the phase where you're like, you went through all those emotions, you went through all those ups and downs, and this is a phase where you're like, you know what? I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to take all the lessons that I've learned from my failure, and I'm going to use it to change. I'm going to use it to add to my knowledge. I'm going to use it to make better decisions so I can be a better person, so I won't go through those stages again. So let's talk about, you have already failed. You've already accepted your failure. Now, what can you do moving forward? Like, how can you use failure to help you moving forward? The first thing you can use failure to do is to keep going. You can keep going. To learn from your failure is to keep going. It's to accept that, hey, I've failed, but I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep moving forward. And the second thing you can do when you do experience failure is you have to find the lessons that are in the failure. Like I said before, you have to find, because with every failure, there is a lesson. And with every lesson, there is a chance for you to improve and a chance for you to get better. So you have to look at the brighter side of things, and you have to learn from your failure. And the third thing you can do is you can rally on your family, rally on your friends, because they're there to support you, they're there to encourage you, and they're there to help you pick yourself up so you can move forward. So these are the 3 things that I want you to do to apply to your life if you have failed at something. Just use these 3 things to pick yourself up and keep going, because like I said before, failure is inevitable. We're all going to fail. Make failure a part of your life. Accept failure because it's going to happen. And some of the most successful people in this world have failed, and they have overcome their failure and they have moved forward. So guys, please, if you have failed or you're going through failure, just use these steps right here. Learn how to overcome failure and apply these lessons to your life, and you will be in a much better position.